Irish Congress of Trade Unions.
Thanks, Chair. You may have noticed, but the world economy is collapsing around us. And it's not just collapsing because, it's collapsing because the economic system, the philosophy behind it is collapsing because it was built on sand. It looked as if it was working very well for some years, and indeed we had good years in the Celtic Tiger, but it was built on sand, on ultra-free markets, by Greenspan in America and by McCreevy in Ireland. It's a wonderful opportunity for the Labour Party and indeed for the Congress of Trade Unions and for workers to build a new social market economy. And I think that I think one of the problems, is that what's happening in the economy is happening so fast that politicians haven't recognised what a change there is. And there's a massive wind behind Labour that it has to seize, and it has to be courageous. Congress has a 10-point plan, which you've seen in the newspapers. It's well thought out, and it's got huge public support. And I just want to address a few of the points in it. The first one is keeping people in jobs, and Prunchius de Rossa mentioned this. It's vital that we keep all those people in jobs. That means subsidies for firms, especially hit by exchange rates, and it means building a system of upskilling workers through flexicurity. And most importantly, it's very important that we don't cut social welfare. There's a campaign to cut welfare because inflation may go down to 3 or 4%. We can't be sure it will. But if we don't protect the vulnerable, what kind of society are we? And also, those people are the ones who spend most because they're the poorest. Which brings me to the second point, is that we must extend government borrowing, and we see that the ESRI comes out today in favour of that, and we mustn't go for a deflationary budget. That's very important. Another point is the type of corporate governance, the way firms are run in Ireland. This must be addressed. We must move away from the shareholder value to the broad stakeholder value. That hasn't captured the imagination yet. That's very important. I see Alex White, we must change company law radically in Ireland to broaden it, because when it's only shareholders' value, that means that the bosses run amok, and we've seen that. It's time to change company law. And the final point I'll address is Congress wants to address the credit, and a lot of people have said credit is not flowing to business. And we've given the banks the guarantees. It hasn't worked. It's time to nationalise the banks. Take the opportunity, Labour, and be courageous and get out there. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Next we have Manuel Cortez, Regional Secretary, TSSA.